Good morning, students. Today we will discuss the methods of analysis. So here to analyze the financial statements, the financial analyst need some of the methods to analyze the financial statements. So here we have 5 methods, that is comparative statement analysis, common size statement analysis, trend analysis, funds flow analysis, and fifth one is ratio analysis. So in these 5 methods, the financial analyst can adopt the can analyze what are the company's financial statements. So how is the income statement is represented and how is the balance sheet is represented. So by taking all these methods into account, they can prepare the income statements and balance sheet and the compare and they will compare the situations in the company. Okay, first we will discuss one by one elaborately. The first one is comparative statement analysis. So in this we are given with 2 or more periods of income statements. That means trading account and profit and loss accounts information. So from that 2 or more periods of information, we have to prepare a income statement. Whatever it may be an income statement or it may be a balance sheet, and we have to identify is there any differences between those 2 years. That means is there any increase or is there any decrease, that we have to identify in this comparative statement analysis. So here in these statements, figures of 2 or more periods are shown side by side to facilitate the comparison, and both the income statement and balance sheet can be prepared in the form of comparative financial statements. So here I will show you one problem which will be solved in this method. So here we have a problem. Prepare the comparative income statement from the following. So here we are given with the profit and loss accounts information like this. So the cost of goods sold in 2001 and 2002. So this is debit side and this is the credit side. So sales. So we have already shown how to prepare the trading account and profit and loss account. So here we are given with the operational expenses in 2001 and 2002, and interest, how we have paid interest in 2001 and 2002, what is the tax we have paid in 2001 and 2002, and what is the net profit we got here. Okay, so this is the information given so in the problem. So we have to prepare an income statement. So already we have seen how the income statement should be prepared. So here this is the income statement. So in this income statement, here we have to note gross sales. From this gross sales we have to less this sales returns, sales tax, etc., and we will get the net sales. From this net sales we have to less the cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold can be prepared by using these information, that is by adding opening stock, purchases and direct expenses, and we have to less closing stock from this, then we will get the cost of goods sold. From the net sales we will less this cost of goods sold to get the gross profit. So in this way we have to find out the gross profit. Next, from this gross profit we have to less the operating expenses. Here operating expenses can be calculated by using these expenses, that is office and administration expenses, selling expenses, financial expenses. So we have to add these 3 expenses and we should have to less from this to get the operating profit before interest and tax. So like this we have to calculate all the things, and finally we have to find out the retained earnings. So in this way we have to prepare the income statement. So this is the information we have given in the income statement. Using this information or using this pro forma, so we have to prepare an income statement for the given problem. So here in this problem we are given with sales, and we are not given with any sales returns sales excise tax like this. So this can be treated as net sales. So this can be treated as net sales. So this first we have to put it on the income statement. So here I have prepared the income statement here. Just look at this. So this is the net sales. So this is the net sales. First we have to so this is first we have to put here, that is net sales. Net sales in the 2001 it is 2,50,000 and it is 2002 it is 30,000, 3 lakhs. So is there any increase or decrease, that we have to put here, and what is the percentage of increase and what is the percentage of decrease, that we have to write here. So here in 2001 the net sales cost is 2,50,000 and 2002 it is 3 lakhs. So what is the increment from here to here? 50,000. So that we have to write here, and we need to find out the percentage. So we will calculate the percentage. So in 2,50,000, so what is the percentage to get 50,000 rupees? So in this way we have to find out. So we have in 2001 we have 2,50,000. So 50,000 incremented in 2002 year, and what is the percentage in this particular year? So that we have to find out. So here 4 zeros, 25 ones, 25 fours, x is equal to 4 5s are 20. So it is 20%. So the increment is 20%. So here we will write here as 20%. So in the income statement we have to less the cost of goods sold from the net sales. So here in the problem they have already mentioned the cost of goods sold information directly, and we need not to add purchases, opening stock of raw materials, direct expenses, and we need not to less the closing stock of raw materials. Here already they have specified the cost of goods sold information. This we will directly put here. So in 2001 it is 1 lakh and 2002 it is 1 lakh. There is no difference between these 2 years. So that's why we have right here, that is less cost of goods sold 1 lakh and 1 lakh. So there is no increment and there is no increment or decrement percentage. So here gross profit, first we will less this from the net sales. So to get the gross profit, so 2,50,000 minus 1 lakh, which gives us 1,50,000. So here 2 lakhs. So here also we have it is increased to 22 lakhs. From 1,50,000 to it increased to 2 lakhs. That means the increment amount is 50,000. So here we need to find out the percentage, that is in 1,50,000. So what is the percentage of 50,000 rupees? So what is the percentage in 1,50,000 rupees? So 4 zeros, 5 ones, 5 threes. So x is equal to 100 by 3, which gives 33.33%. So in this way we need to find out the percentages. So here we will put this percentage, 33.33%. So next, from this gross profit we need to less the operating expenses. So in the problem we are given with operational expenses 75,000. So here in this problem you need to add one more thing, that is operational expenses 75,000, 1,10,000, and the next one is selling expenses. Here you can make a change here to interest. Instead of interest you write here at selling expenses. Okay, So here this is selling expenses in 2001 is 25,000 and 2002 is 20,000. So that we have to write here. Administration expenses is 75,000, 1,10,000. Selling expenses is 25,000 and 20,000. So here there is an increment, that is 75 to 1,10,000. It increase it to 35,000. So and we need to find out the percentage also. And selling expenses, so in 2001 it is 25,000, in 2002 it is 20,000. So here we have decreased this, that is minus 5,000. So this also we have to find out how much percentage of decrease we got, that we have to note here. So total operating expenses we need to find out. So by adding these two we will get this 75,000, 25,000, which gives us 1,30,000. And here it is increased to 30,000. We need to find out the percentage. So here in 1 lakh, what is the percentage we get? That means 30,000 rupees. So that is 30%. So next we need to find out operating profits before tax. So from gross profit we have to less the operating expenses, that is B. So 1,50,000 minus 1 lakh, which gives 50,000. 2 lakhs minus 1,30,000, which gives us 70,000. So here also we have an increment, that is 20,000. So in 50,000, what is the percentage to get this 20,000? That means 40%. So tax paid is 25,000 and 30,000 in the years, consecutive years. So there is a 5,000 increment. So what is the percentage of increment, that we need to find out. Next, so we need to less this from the operating profits before tax. So this is called as profits after tax. So 25,000, 40,000. So here also we have an increment, that is 15,000. And what is that percentage? So in this way we have to prepare the comparative financial statement. So this is comparative income statement. We are comparing with the previous, comparing with the 2 years. So in 2001, what the real figures are, in 2002 what are the amounts, and is there any differences between those 2 years? Is there any difference? What is that? That is there any increase or decrease, and what is the percentage of increase and decrease, that we have to identify. So in this way we will prepare a comparative income statement. So in the same way we will prepare the comparative balance sheet also. I will show you in the next problem. So here we have another problem in which we will prepare the comparative balance sheet. So here from the following balance sheet of a limited company for the year ended on 3/3/2001 and 2002, prepare comparative balance sheet and comment on the achievement in the year 2002. So here we are given with the balance sheet. So this is at liability side and this is at assets side. So equity capital 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, share capital 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, general reserves 1 lakh, 2 lakh 50,000, creditors 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, outstanding expenses 50,000, 50,000, and profit and loss account 2 lakhs and 3 lakhs. So here we have fixed assets. Assets information here, fixed assets 4 lakhs, 10 lakhs. Investments is 3 lakhs, 1 lakh. Debtors 2 lakhs, 4 lakhs. And stock details, stock is 1 lakh and 4 lakhs. Cash is 50,000 and 1 lakh. So here we got the same amounts in the liability side and assets side. 10 lakhs 50,000, 10 lakhs 50,000, 20 lakhs 20 lakhs. So this is the balance sheet we are given with. So this we have to put it in a balance sheet form. That is we have already discussed about this. That is how the balance sheet look like. So from here first we have to write the fixed assets. Then we have to write down the investments. Then we need to find out the working capital information. Working capital means we can we can reduce the current liabilities from the current assets in order to get the working capital. So current assets means cash in hand, cash at bank, bills, receivables, debtors, closing stock, prepaid expenses and income receivable. So and the current liabilities are nothing but loans, bank overdraft, bills payable, creditors, outstanding expenses, income received in advance, like that. So we will less these current liabilities from these current assets in order to get this working capital. So here we will add these values, that is fixed assets, that is net fixed assets, any other investments, any working capital, in any other assets, like that we have to add, and we will find out the total assets. In the liability side we have to add these capitals, reserves, long term loans, shareholders funds, like that we have to add all these things in order to get the liability side. So we have to enter all this information like this. So here in this from this given information, so here we will prepare the comparative balance sheet. This is like the same one as we discussed in the previous problem. So here we have to write the particulars. This is the 2001 year and 2002 year. Is there any increase or decrease, and then percentage of increase or decrease. So first we have to write the fixed assets. So fixed assets is 4 lakhs and 10 lakhs. Here increment is 6 lakhs. So we need to find out the percentage. So already I have told you how to calculate the percentage. So this is 4 lakhs. In 4 lakhs, so what is the percentage in 4 lakhs to get this 6 lakhs? That is x by 100 is equal to 6 lakhs. So x is equal to 25 into 6, 150%. So this we have to write here. So this is the 150%. So next in the problem we are given with fixed assets, not about any depreciation, so that we are directly adding this value fixed assets. And then we have investments also. Investments is 3 lakhs and this is 1 lakh, and this is reduced here. So investments is 3 lakhs, 1 lakh, the reduction is 2 lakhs, and what is the percentage of reduction, decrease. And then we need to find out the working capital. So to find out the working capital, we need to find the difference between current assets and current liabilities. So in the current assets we are given with the cash, debtors and stocks information. In the problem we are given with this information. Cash is given, stock details are given, debtors information are given. This we have to add. So in the liability side we are given with the outstanding expenses, creditors, like that we are given with. So here we have to add the current assets, that is 50,000 and 1 lakh. Increment is 50,000 rupees, and this is 100% percentage increased. Debtors information also given, 2 lakhs and 4 lakhs. Increment amount is 2 lakhs and percentage is 100%. Stock details are also given, 1 lakh and 4 lakhs. Increment is 3 lakhs, and here percentage amount is 300%. So this is the total current assets, and these are the total liabilities. Liabilities at liability side we will write the creditors information and outstanding expenses. So in this way we have to prepare the current liabilities, and we need to less this current liabilities from this current assets to get this working capital. So here working capital is also known as operating capital. So 2 lakhs, that is 3 lakhs 50,000 minus 1 lakh 50,000 gives us 2 lakhs. 9 lakhs minus 2 lakhs 50,000 gives us 6 lakhs 50,000. So here increment is 2 lakhs 4 lakhs 50,000. So in 2 lakhs, what is the percentage to get this 4 lakhs 50,000 means 275%. So in this way we need to find out the working capital information, and we need to add these three things, that is fixed assets, investments and working capital. So 4 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 2 lakhs, totally 7 plus 2 9 lakhs. So here the total assets is 9 lakhs, and in the next year it is 17 lakhs 50,000, and here we have incrementation is 8 lakhs 50,000. From 9 lakhs to 17 lakhs 50,000, it is 8 lakhs 50,000. And what is the percentage? So next one is here we have to find out the liabilities, total liabilities. So here we have given with share capital information, equity share capital information, reserves and profits and loss accounts. So like that we are given with, and we need to add all these things. So this is the same percentage. So in this way we have to prepare the total liabilities. So in this way we will prepare the balance sheet, comparative balance sheet for this 2001 and 2002 year. So now we will discuss another method, that is common size statement analysis. So here it involves two steps. One is state the total of the statement as 100% and compute the ratio of each item to the total in the statement. So in this method we are going to take one particular component as 100%, and we will find out all the other components, the ratio of that particular component. So that means here I will show you an example by illustrating this method. So here we have information like this. Here we have a problem. So here in this problem we are going to find out the income statement, that is a common size income statement. We will prepare common size income statement. So in this, the following are the income statements of a company for the years ending December 2001 and December 2002. So here we are given with the sales, this is 5 lakhs and this is 7 lakhs. So miscellaneous income, and then this is the so this is the addition of these two values, that is 520, which gives us 520, 700 plus 15, 715. So then we are given with cost of sales, and this we also call it as cost of goods sold. So that is 325 and 510. Next, office expenses and selling expenses, and what is the interest, and here what is the net profit. Net profit, how we got this net profit means, so here we have to realize the same amount as here. So this is the credit side amount and this is the debit side amount. The credit side we have 520, and at debit side we have got 400. So in order to get this profit, in order to balance 520, we need to add 120. So this amount we are calling it as net profit. In the same way we will this is 715. In the same way we will calculate this amount 715. So in the credit side we got 715, in the debit side we got only 610. So in order to balance this amount we need to add 105, and this is what we are calling it as net profit. So in this way we have got the information, and from this information we need to prepare the common size income statement. So here so in the comparative statement, in the comparative statement, we have taken 2 years information, 2001 and 2002. So here we have find the what is the increment amount and what is the decrement amount, and what is the increment percentage and what is the decrement percentage. So each and every year we have find this. Okay, so this is not what we are doing in this common size income statement. Here also we will write the information like this. This is particulars and this is 2001 year and 2001 years percentage, and 2002 and 2002 years percentage. So here we will take net sales as 100%, and we will find the ratio of each item to the total in the statement. This is what we have discussed in the common size statement analysis definition. Here we have two steps. First one is state the total of the statement as 100%. So here we will treat net sales as 100%. Net sales as 100%. Next, compute the ratio of each item to the total in the statement. So in this sales, net sales, what is the percentage of the other items that we have to compute? Okay, so here sales is 500 and in the next year it is 700. So we will take this as 100%. So next one is less. From this net sales we have to less the cost of goods sold in order to get the gross profit. So in the problem they have given us the cost of goods sold as 325 and in the next year it is 510. So that we have to write here 325 and 510, and we need to find out what is the percentage. So that is so here we have taken net sales as 100%, and we need to find out what is the percentage of this cost of goods sold in net sales. So that we have to find out. So this is the net sales information and this is the cost of goods sold information, and what this is the percentage we have to calculate. So here, so x is equal to 325 by 5, which gives us 65%. So this we have to write here, 65%. So in the same way 2002 also, for the year 2002 also we have to find out. So this is 700 as 100%. So in this 700 we need to find out what is the cost of goods sold. The cost of goods sold amount is 510. So this is what we have, 510 by 7. So which gives us 72.86%. So in this way we need to find out all the ratios. So each and every item's ratios you need to find out. So from the net sales we less the cost of goods sold in order to get the gross profit. This is the gross profit. 500 minus 325, which is 175. So which is 35, and 190, this is 27%. So in this way we need to find out. So next one is from this gross profit we need to less the operating expenses. So operating expenses, in the problem we are given with office expenses and selling expenses. These two are called as operating expenses. This we need to add. So office expenses as 20 in the year 2001, and this is 2002 year. So 20, 25, 30, 45. So here we need to find out the percentage. So here percentage means, so net sales is 500. Net sales is 500. So x by 100, which gives the amount 20. Which is the amount 20. 5 ones 5 4, which is 4%. It is 4%. This we have written here. So in the same way, we need to compute the ratio of office expenses for the year 2002. So here we have taken 700 as 100%. So 700 into x by 100 is equal to so office expenses in 2002 year is 25. So x is equal to 25 by 7, which gives us 3.57%. This is 3.57%. In the same way, we have to calculate all the other expenses also, selling expenses. So we need to add these two to get the total operating expenses. And then we have to less this value, operating expenses, from the gross profit. So here gross profit is 175. Here operating expenses is 50, which gives us 125. So this is called as operating profit before tax and interest. So then we need to take the other information, that is here we are given with non-operating income. This we have to add in the income statement. We have to add this. So here also we have to add this other incomes. So that is to this operating profit we have to add this other incomes. So that is 125 for this operating profits we add this 20. So this is given in the problem as miscellaneous income, 20 and 15. This we have to add here. So next, this is called as profit before interest and tax. So next we need to less the interest. Next one is this is called as profit before tax. So we are not given with any tax information, so that we haven't deducted the tax here. Okay, so this is called as profit before tax. So in this way we will prepare the common size statement analysis. So in the same way we will prepare the common size balance sheet also. So here we are given with a problem like this. So this is the balance sheet information of a company in 2000 year and 2001 year. So this is the information given. So from this information we have to prepare the balance sheet. So here in this balance, so in this problem we will treat the total assets as 100%. So that is total assets is in the problem they have given us for the year 2000, it is 2345, and here total liabilities also 2345. In the year 2001 it is 2755 and it is also 2755. Like that, here we will take this as a 100% amount. Here we will make a small change here. Here we need not to calculate the working capital information. So here just we will add these assets, current assets, fixed assets. Is there any other investments that we have to add to get the total assets? So here in the problem we are given with current assets as debtors, cash, stock, investments. So this is the information given. So here that is debtors has 450, that is 4,50,000, and cash, stock, investments like this. First we have to put this amount, and then fixed assets is also so here just we have to find out the percentages. Here we have to find out the percentages. So here we will take total assets as 100%. Here total assets information is 2345 for the year 2000. So 2345 is the amount as 100%. In this amount we need to find out the percentage of 450 debtors, that is a 450. So x is equal to 450 into 100 by 2345, 45,000 divided by 2345, which gives us 19.19%. So this we have to write here. Like that we need to find out. So we need to find out, so what is the percentage of 2345 to get this 200 rupees. That is 2345 into x by 100 is equal to 200. So x is equal to 20,000 divided by 2345, which gives us 8.53%. So like that we need to find out. Here for debtors also the same way we need to calculate. So here 2755 as 100%, 2755 as 100%, x by 100 is equal to 390. So x is equal to 39,000 by 2755, which gives us 14.16%. 14.16%. So here a little change, that is here we need not to calculate the working capital, just we need to add just assets, and we need to find out the liabilities. So debtors, cash, stock, investments, and fixed assets is here buildings, land, furniture. So in this way we have to add all the total assets, and we need to find out the liability side also. In the current liabilities, for the current liabilities also we have to set 2345 as 100%. So in this 2345, what is the percentage of the 200? That is sundry creditors. So in this way we need to calculate all the values: sundry creditors, others. This is so total current liabilities, debentures, so the capital fund. So like that we need to calculate. So in this way we will find out the common size balance sheet. Okay, next method is trend analysis. So next method is trend analysis. In this method, so here we will follow 3 steps. That is, first one is selection of the base year. So here we will be given with 3 or 4 years information. First we have to select one base year. So for that base year you have to assign all the values to 100. I will show you how it will be done. So for that base year, in that base year you have to assign all the items to 100 and calculation of percentage relationship that each item bears to the same item in the base year. So in this way we will find out this trend analysis. So here in this problem, so we are given with 4 years information. So here also we will find out the income statement and balance sheet also. Here I will show you how to prepare the income statement using the trend analysis. So in this problem we are given with 4 years information about some manufacturing company. So here we need to find out the trend percentages. So 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002. So here we are given with this type of information. So here 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. So here we need to take two columns for each and every year. One is for amounts and one is for percentages. For 2000 year also, this column is for amounts and this is for percentage. Like that we have to prepare all the values. So here in this 1999, in this we have taken 1919 as a base year. So for this base year we have set all the values to 100. So for this 100, 60, 40, 10 and 30 for 1919 year. So that is a sales amount less cost of goods sold. Already they have prepared the income statement, gross profit and less operating systems, and this is the net operating profit. So we need to just find out the percentages from the base year. So here first we have to set all the items to 100, index number 100 to all the items in this base year. That is for the base year 1999. So here rupees and this is percentage. So here sales 60, 40, 10, 30. So here we have assigned all the values to 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, all are 100%. So next we need to find out from this base year what is the percentage of this year. So here it is 95. In 2000 year net sales is 95. So we need to find out from this 100, so what is the percentage of this 95. So that is in 100 into x by 100 is equal to 95. This is 95. So 100 get cancels, which gives us 95%. So this is 95%. So in the same way 58.9. So here this is 60 into x by 100 is equal to 58.9, which gives us, so x is equal to 58.9 into 100 divided by 60, which gives us this 98.2%. 98.2%. So next one is, this is 40 and this is 36.1. We have to less this amount. So from to get the gross profit we need to less the cost of goods sold from the net sales. So 100 minus 60 is 40. Here also 95 minus 58.9 is equal to 36.1. So in this way we need to find out all the values. So here 120. So this is the rupees and this is the percentage. So this is the rupees percentage. This is for 1999 and this is rupees percentage, rupees percentage, rupees percentage. So this is for 2000 year, this is for 2001 year, and this is for 2002 year. So here we need to find out all the percentages. So here this is net sales as 100. From this 100, x by 100 is equal to it is if for 2001 year it is 120. So we will get 120%. So that is 120%. Like that we have to calculate. So next, operating expenses. Operating expenses. So in 10, x by 100 is equal to 9.7, which is equal to x is equal to 9.7 into 100 by 10, which gives us 97. So like that we have to find out 97. In this way we need to find out all the information. So this is called as trend analysis. In this trend analysis we will set 1 year as base year. Here you can take 2000 as base year, you can take 2001 as base year, and you can take 2002 as base year. But according to that base year's percentages, we need to calculate all the other year's information. So in this way, in the same way we will prepare the balance sheet also. So here we are given with 4 years balance sheet. So this is about assets information, and this is about liabilities information. So 1999, 2000, 2001 and 2002. So here also we have to select 1 year as the base year and assign index number 100 to each and every item in that base year. So here also in this problem also we have taken 1999 as base year. So according to that base year, according to the step, we have to assign all the items as 100 in that base year. So for that, in the current assets, cash is 100, investment is 100%, bids receivable is 100%. Like that, each and every value we have to assign 100 in the base year. And we need to find out the other year's information as the base year. We need to find out the percentages. See here. So here we are given with 92 as 100. 92 into x by 100 is equal to 98. We need to find out this amount's percentage in this base year. So that x is equal to 98 into 100 by 92, which gives us 536%. 536%. In this way we need to find out all the percentages to the rest of the periods also. So here also here we can make use of this working capital. That means current assets. From this current assets we have to less this current liabilities. So next one is total fixed assets. This is about total fixed assets, and this is about the liabilities information. So in this way we can prepare the trend analysis. The other two methods we have discussed that we have 5 methods to analyze the financial statements, that is comparative statement analysis, common size statement analysis, and trend analysis, funds flow analysis, and ratio analysis. Here in this chapter we discussed about these 3 methods. In the following chapters we will discuss about these 2 methods, funds flow analysis and ratio analysis. Okay, I will meet you in the next video, students. Thank you.